Hey, I'm back again. It's Randy Hatada representing Xpand Realty. We are talking about our new October update. And I always get confused, but we're in October talking about September numbers, right? Because numbers are trailing. So last month, we did the August report, and I did a verbal mistake and told you guys we were looking at June numbers, which was actually July numbers. So just a quick clarification that we were using the latest numbers, and I slipped up a little bit. Yes, I am human, just like you. But with no more further ado, let's talk about what's going on with Las Vegas and what's going on with our Las Vegas real estate market. So it is October again, and it's been a hot October. However, we are finally gonna be dropping in temperature, and I heard next week we're gonna drop all the way into the 60s. We're not prepared for that, so hopefully you guys take care of yourselves and don't get sick. So take your vitamins, take out your warm clothes. We're about to experience a major climate change. Now, with climate change, if you lived in Las Vegas long enough, you'd know that comes with that change comes wind, right? So I expect a lot of seasonal changes such as wind, rain, which we do need the rain. And as long as we're prepared, then it's a good thing, right? Traditionally, October or Halloween specifically, we have a very major change in temperature, and that's when things get cold pretty much overnight. So if you guys are out there Halloweening, make sure to bring your warm clothes and enjoy the festivities. But if you guys are visiting, I hope that helps you a little bit, because I have family that come up from Hawaii so ill prepared and they suffer the consequences. So don't be one of those. The first update I'm going to share with you is pretty major, and it's basically responsible for changing the face of the Las Vegas Strip as we know it today. And it is the implosion of the Tropicana Casino. That just happened this week. It didn't open for public visitations. However, they got good footage of the implosion, and you can simply Google it or look on social media. I'm sure it's everywhere. We also posted a repost on Instagram from Maverick Helicopters on the before and after of the Tropicana site, and it's pretty. You don't see how major this change is until you see how major this change is. And it's so weird not having that big white building right on that corner of Tropicana and Las Vegas Boulevard. So we got to get used to that. But up and coming is going to be the now Las Vegas, formerly Oakland Athletics baseball coming to town. So there'll be a state-of-the-art stadium being built right on that exact piece, that land parcel. So we're all excited about that for multiple reasons, such as more entertainment. If you guys love sports, I live in the baseball world with my son and wife, and I know that's going to be such an exciting thing, because not only will it bring jobs and entertainment, and not only will it be motivation for my son and his teammates and everyone playing any type of sport, but along with it comes a lot of training and attraction for out-of-state people involved with sports. And one of the blessings that you may not know about is that Las Vegas is one of the sports meccas of the United States. In fact, a lot of our talented coaching and training facilities and athletes and all of the above have recently opened, thus exposing opportunities for children and adults all the way to the professional level, something that we were very short on just 5-10 years ago. So Las Vegas has come a long way. As far as the Tropicana, it is iconic. I mean, it was one of the OG original casinos out here in Las Vegas that everyone knows about. Tons of weddings and good food and all of the above. I have personal friends that got married at the Tropicana. I think it's called the Gardens, but there's a nice or used to be a nice outdoor area for events and weddings and that type of reasons. But now that it's gone, I'm sure there'll be more event opportunities over at the new athletic stadium. That if you haven't seen it, the renderings kind of look like what's that called in Australia with the amphitheater in Australia? Well, I think you know what I'm talking about, but it looks like a big seashell over in Sydney. And that's kind of the design of the platform, which is going to be an indoor-outdoor stadium. And super excited about it. In fact, everyone I know around me is super excited about it. And the rest will be history very soon. So anyways, that's the biggest change here in Las Vegas right now. If you didn't know, UNLV has been on UNLV football alumni, go Rebs. They've actually done very well. They went 4-0 as of last week. Lost their quarterback, lost their running back, and still continued winning. In fact, they look really good. However, they did take their first loss against Syracuse last week, and I think they're at 5-1 now. So first time, I think they're at 5-1. So please don't quote me on that stat. But they are now, or were, top 25, which is the first time they've been on the board. So congratulations, UNLV and everyone affiliated. Moving on, Nevada had a big thing happening with funding to support small businesses, and the state received $4.2 million from the Governor's Office of Economic Development, and was awarded $4.2 million in federal funds to help small businesses. That is going to be exciting because we have so much growth in startup businesses or transferring businesses, and they're going to use this specific funds to provide technical assistance services specifically to startups, to healthcare businesses, and to advanced manufacturing companies, to access legal, financial, advisory, and accounting services necessary to apply for loans and supporting the investment. So Southern Nevada has become a business-friendly state and very popular for that reason. Thus, not only do we have relocation of people, but we have relocation of businesses taking advantage of the Nevada opportunity for multiple reasons. So we continue to grow in that realm, which provides jobs just like the athletics do. And we're going to continue to grow based on job opportunities, based on relocation and people becoming residents. And that was all organic. Now we're going to have more recruiting for people to come and supply and support these jobs, because quite frankly, there's not enough unemployed people to support all the projects that we're having. So there'll be a lot of opportunity for people out of state looking for job opportunities. So kudos to Vegas. We are growing. For good or for worse, we are growing. Another huge thing for Nevada, which is topic number 3, is that we're very proud that finally the number of solar-related jobs in Nevada increased 14% last year. That's a huge number because it's more than twice the national average, according to the Interstate Renewable Energy Council's National Solar Job Census. More than 1,000 jobs were added to 2023, bringing the number of Nevadans employed in solar industry up to 8,592 people, the 7th highest in the nation. And thank goodness we need the help from solar. If you didn't know the history behind solar, we've had a lot of problems getting that started and getting momentum on that. And a lot of the reason at the end of the day is the twofold. One is that there were leased solars and there's owned solars. So both had problems penetrating Nevada for multiple reasons. And the irony is that, why don't you have solar? You have all the sun. It makes sense. Well, it wasn't that simple. And the reason is that our energy amounts, as compared to our bordering states, are very low. So our break-even period is pretty far out, more than most of or a lot of the nation, even with the federal tax credit, or rebate. And based on that, our break-even period is approaching between 10-15 years, depending on your solar usage, size of house, and all of the above. But the thing about Las Vegas is that it's such a trending state or transient state that a lot of owner-occupants don't live in their primary residence for 10 to 15 years. They tend to relocate or upgrade, downsize, whatever it is prior to that time period. Thus, they don't see the full benefit of paying off that solar if they're owned. The benefits to lease solar is that they put caps on the amounts that they can raise the power amounts to. Whereas the Nevada Power has been pretty aggressive in raising the energy cost. So that would be one benefit. But I can tell you honestly, you take the filters out from a real estate standpoint and transactional standpoint, leased homes with leased solar has been quite a challenge in transacting real estate for multiple reasons. And to just give you a quick glimpse of what that means is that if a buyer comes in and purchases a home, there's only really a few options. One, they can take over the lease, which they'd have to requalify the lease for that lease, which could change their debt to income ratio, and they could lose their loan by this extra expense. So that's been one challenge. And then qualifying for the lease has been a little bit of a challenge. And the servicing companies for these leases have not had the best reputation by averages. And so just trying to get all of the changeover in a timely manner has been quite the challenge for us realtors in the industry. So these are the concerns we have for lease solar. I mean, we all want to be a little bit greener, a little bit more responsible, but the realistic transactional outcome is that it's been a little bit of a hurdle to do that. The other opportunity or the other way to get past that is you can sometimes do a lease buyout to own the system, or maybe that solar system can be transferred to the leasee's new property. So those are some of the other options, and that's what's happening with solar. The fourth topic going on is a very interesting one and something that I personally am looking forward to. And there are potential plans to double the capacity and increase, of course, passenger satisfaction for Harry Reid International Airport. We are one of the busiest airports in the nation, and they're running out of space, starting with parking and everything else that goes with it. So the expansion would really help us. The proposal would increase the number of gates from 39 gates all the way up to 65 gates for Terminal 1, the terminal that needs a little bit of love. And it would get better access directly to Terminal 3. It would also add extra parking, because if you've parked at Terminal 1, you know what I'm talking about. It's really hard to get parking without going to the outskirt parking lots. And they're also talking about upgrading the roads that interconnect the different terminals. So something to look forward to, being that we are one of the busiest airports in the country. So those are your Las Vegas updates. Let's roll into Las Vegas housing updates. So if you've been following us, you know the trends and where we are as far as last month. Well, that trend continues to go in the direction that we have been talking about and predicting. And the long story short is that the market has slowed down a little bit for multiple reasons that we've talked about, and I'll reiterate a few of them. But our units sold has actually gone up as well. Units sold has actually gone down by 347 units, and it went down from 2,138 sales last month, or July to 1,791 sales in August. So it went down 347 sales. Our median price point actually went back up to where it was. We were originally a few months back at 500,000, making it our market high. We dipped to 477,000 in July, and now we're back up to 480,000 based on August numbers. So we're not quite at the 500. If I missaid that a little bit ago, forgive me. But we're trending in the upwards direction for median price point. And we're up $3,000 for median price point from the month prior. As far as new listings, that actually went down. We went down 323 new listings from 3,153 listings to 2,830 listings, which is a good thing because our units available have actually continued to climb, just like I had kind of opened with. One trend to watch is that we went up to a high of a median price point, asking median price point of 520,000, and we're back down to a median asking price point of $500,000. So we went down $20,000 on what sellers are asking. So sellers, that's something to be aware of. Buyers, that poses opportunity to you, if you're in the market to buy something. And all of this is based on the next metric, which I've been talking about, which is units available or inventory. Our inventory continues to climb, and our inventory is at 5,500 units. That's 190 plus units since the month before. And that equates to a 3-month supply of inventory, which is up half a month supply from the month before. Now, you might have heard me as like a broken record saying that a 3-month supply is a healthy, balanced market for buyers and for sellers. But it's skewed because we're very spoiled here in Las Vegas. And we went down all the way to a half a month supply during the COVID years. And we've been dealing with like a 1.5 month supply, then a 2-month supply of inventory, all favoring the sellers. Now we're at a 3-month supply, and we're just not used to it, kind of like when interest rates move. Now, with that being said, 3-month supply is deemed a healthy market. So just want to make you aware that throughout history, 3-month supply is strong here in Las Vegas. But one stat to track is that we have one metric that has surpassed the entire United States, and that is the quick growth of units available or supply. In other words, our supply increased by percentage so quickly that, more quickly than anyone else, long story short. So the reasons why is what's important, and some of the reasons why is a lot of investors have opted to sell during this time. And they've opted to sell because we have hit a market high and kind of adjusted since then. And then also, just like housing inventory, rental inventory is up. And so rentals are sitting on the market a little longer than normal. And I've seen a lot of rent adjustments, something that we'll talk about very shortly. But based on that, some owners are like, man, maybe we should sell the property. We're not making what we used to, or it's taking longer to rent. I'm kind of worried. And so a lot of investors are opting to sell, and in reverse, a lot of the institutional investors, the big companies or publicly traded companies or private funds are still buying into major pools of inventory because they believe in the growth and future of Las Vegas. So they're doing the contrarian thing. But another reason why inventory is probably growing, and just talking to our own clientele, we know that a lot of them have finally opted to sell to buy. And why would they wait to sell to buy? It's because most of them have 3, 4%, 4.5% interest rates that they're locked into, and they didn't want to pay 7, 8%. And I don't blame them. It's more than or equal to double what they were used to, right? Affecting the amount of dollars out of your pocket. So they're like, man, I'll just settle and keep what I have, even though maybe it doesn't fit us like something else would, because we don't want to be up to the new interest rate. So for that reason, a lot of sellers that want to sell to buy, whether it's upsizing, downsizing, whatever it is, or even investment property, they just kind of held and waited for the market to change. And right now that the market has changed, and interest rates are close to about, on average, 6%. That's not that far from the 3.5%, 4% mark. So a lot of seller buyers are having the confidence to sell and buy. For them, the equity, the timing isn't as important. The timing for interest rates is super important. And the reason is that whether the market goes up, down, they either make it on the sale and gain it on the purchase, or don't make as much in the sale and get a better purchase, right? So it's kind of just trading equity, and really it's the interest rates that are very different. So that's one of the conclusions that we've come to, which is why we have a lot of units available right now. Now, getting into the condo market, it kind of follows the single family market, except that condos have a lot more investors. And back in an earlier podcast, we explained the reasons why there's so many investors in condos beyond just price, which is a podcast on its own. So if you want to look that up, you can. It's pretty interesting because we lived through those days, the foreclosures and the litigations that happened, and the limited buyers, long story short, to mainly investors. But our units sold has also gone down a little bit by 87 units. We're at 486 units sold, and our median price point is exactly where it was, so no change there. Actually, I'm sorry, I can't read my own notes. Actually, it changed by $7,500, and the median price point actually went up to condos. So sales have gone down, but prices have gone up as far as median values, and the median value is now $300,000. $299,500 to be exact. Let's call it $300,000. And this includes all different types of condos, but this is our median. As far as new listings has gone down, just like single families. We're down to 833 new listings for condos. And the ask median price for condos actually went up. It went up $10,000, which is contrarian to the single family analysis, where the median price point is of asking amounts is $310,000, and again the median price is actually $300,000. As far as units available went up by 91 units. We're at 1,731 units available. And this is a big number, but our effective availability or month supply went up by 0.7 month supply, and we're up to a 3.6 month supply, favoring the buyers. So sellers, again, take note. Buyers, check out the opportunity. And for both single families and for condos, you'll probably find that if you enter the purchase market right now, there will be a lot of wiggle room for potential negotiation, potentially any kind of incentives will be on the rise. And if you're looking to buy down interest rates, get closing costs, or just simply negotiate price, now's probably the time. Especially if you see listings sitting on the market for over 30 days, over 60 days. I'm sure these owners do want to sell, and that leaves you opportunity right now. Now, from a general standpoint, again, we do expect interest rates to reduce in the near future. We do expect the Feds to do another slash on rates 2 more times before the end of the year, which will hopefully lead to interest rates decreasing for buyers. So there's an opportunity there. And the message is the same. Make sure you consult your realtor and talk strategy, or your mortgage consultant, and talk strategy about timing of interest rates, and have the conversation if it's a better time to buy now, and either buy down interest rates now or work in the ability to, or strategy to refinance in the future if interest rates do drop very soon. That has always been the conversation for the last year, and it's such an important conversation because I know a lot of buyers are still, they don't have the confidence, or you guys, if you're a buyer, may not have the confidence to move forward in the housing hunt yet. But don't wait too long, like time it, again, come up with strategy, because if you do and you are reactive to interest rates dipping, then you'll be reactive to where our market is. And I can assure you that if interest rates dip sub 6s into the 5s, that buyers will start having a lot more confidence, thus, offering with a lot more demand, and probably creating bidding wars, and probably affecting values by bidding properties upwards, becoming more expensive. So just be aware of that. One indicator, which may be a one-off because this is an older property with a 1 acre lot. I listed this property in the Southwest. It was a 1978 build, like 3,000 square foot, 1 acre lot. Original everything. It's in good condition, but could use a little TLC. I listed in the market for $700,000. And we had over 10 offers in the first 48 hours. We were surprised by this result. And the conclusion was that 9 out of the 10 offers were all investors. And the reason they were doing it for that specific property, and by the way, that just proves the investors are here just shopping for the right deal. But it allows investors the opportunity to go in, update the property, and then recapture market value on it. So example, they buy that property at 700 or whatever they negotiate in, add in another 150,000 or 200,000 in updating the property. Now the property's worth over $1 million, leaving a lot of room for profitability and return on investment, right? Or maybe they do it and build it into a short-term rental because it was a no HOA property. But it just shows me that the buyers are there, investors are there, the demand is there. They're just looking for specific products. I noticed that properties that have larger parcels or something specific, such as pools, RV parking, special views such as the strip, golf course, whatever it might be, of course it's in higher demand, but those are the properties that are selling or trading more often than your average property. So if you're looking for a property with a specific amenity like that, it's something to understand that there is still great demand for that, and there'll be more when interest rates dip. That's kind of the summary of where we're at. As you guys know, we have an election for our presidency coming up, amongst other candidates and or other positions, and that has also affected our real estate market heavily. And I think a lot of people are just waiting to see what the result is in the election before they purchase. Whether it'll even affect their purchase or not is to be determined. I still think they're going to buy if they're looking to buy. But a lot of people are curious to see who gets elected, what will happen to our financial state here in the United States. And I think people are just waiting to reactively see what happens before they invest in real estate. So that seems to be a trend that's going on right now. As for renters, I said we would talk a little bit about rentals. It's been a little bit harder for investors, and on the property management side, we've seen properties, especially the new properties that demand high rents, higher than the market average for the same square foot, slow down. and they are starting to sit in the market longer than normal. We consider this temporary because we do have a shortage of rental property. It's just a matter of renters having the confidence to apply and move or get new properties or move into new properties. And we expect that to change, but right now during this time, it does favor the renter. So if you're a renter looking to find something here in Vegas to rent, whether it's an apartment, condo, townhome, single family, whatever it may be, I think the leverage favors your side. And so maybe you might want to talk to your agent about negotiating rent. If you're struggling finding a property for whatever reason based on qualifications, maybe you have a pet, right? Now's the time. There's inventory right now that has to move, right? Investors lose money by vacancy period, so they do want properties rented. And so, now's your opportunity. Put it out there, and, the probability of getting accepted is much higher than it was early this year. So favoring the tenants. I'll bring more detailed stats to you in the future. Our informational sources are not updated on rentals yet. These are all coming from inside experiences through our management arm of the company. And if you have any more questions, more individual to you, we'd be happy to answer any one of them. So feel free to comment, feel free to reach out to us. Even if you have a realtor, that's fine. Go back to your realtor, we'll still answer your question. So, leave a comment, reach out to us, message us, whatever it might be, call us, ask us your questions, and we're happy to hopefully educate you and get you some answers. And again, if you have any requests for any future podcast beyond just the real estate updates or Las Vegas updates, we'd happy to maybe do a podcast specifically on that topic. So, now's not the time to be shy. Just ask, and we probably will deliver, as long as it's a relevant topic and there's multiple people that probably want to know the answer or hear about it. We're happy to assist you in hopefully getting answers and educating yourselves on those topics. We're also looking to bring on a lot more guests to the show, and based on the needs, which is you guys that you're interested in, those are the industries or people that we plan on bringing in. We do have a list. We are lining them up. Or if you, in fact, are in another industry that makes sense and you want to be a part of the show, reach out. Like, I promise you we won't bite. We're here to help, and that's why we do this. So stay warm, you guys. Let us know if you have any questions, concerns, discussions, and have a great day. Take care, you guys.